Hi, welcome back. I hope you had a wonderful week and you're ready for another meeting. This meeting is totally dedicated to my fellow colleagues that are now starting their careers or are new in the profession. Um, and it is a response to something I've seen online recently and to which I totally condemn, which is sometimes more experienced translators making comments that make younger translators feel a bit inadequate or less skilled, which obviously I totally disagree. So I decided to talk about this today. So grab your coffee or tea, come in. The meeting is about to start. And I now declare the meeting open. And as I said, today this meeting is dedicated to my fellow colleagues that are now starting out as translators and sometimes may be targeted by older translators, by more experienced translators, with comments that really do not make them feel good or add any value to our profession or to our cooperation, indeed, as professionals. This comes about as a response to a comment that I've seen from a post of a younger translator, of someone that is now starting their career as translators, and they just made a comment, they made a statement about something they truly believe, and which, by the way, I agree with the statement that was made, and it was that some people may think that the industry is oversaturated and that you cannot charge higher rates, there's no jobs, this and that. And that colleague said that or that they charge high rates, and they still have projects every week. So it is possible, and it is something that we need to consider. And I've spoken about this in other meetings, which is we should value our work and we should value the value that we had to our clients' business. But that's another conversation. But to this comment, um, some other translator, which claims to be more experienced, claims to be in the industry for more than 10 years, and says, come again in 10 years and we will talk. Well, I think this is an extremely derogatory comment. Um, I don't think it's appropriate at all because um, just because we have 10 years in the industry, just like myself or many other colleagues, that does not mean that we know it all, does not mean that we actually know the, the, the formula for success, because we all make mistakes. I certainly did my fair share of mistakes, and I admit them, and I work towards correcting them. And definitely be arrogant or inappropriate to another colleague has never been one of those mistakes. I never did that because I think it's highly inappropriate, and because I think we all have something important and valuable to add to our industry. We, as more experienced translators, may have the experience and we may have um, something to share in regards to that. We may say something that we have encountered, the way we solve a certain problem, etc., etc., and that may obviously help our younger colleagues. However, they are the new generation of our industry, and they are fresh from the school, fresh from the uni or whatever qualifications they may have, and they have a lot of knowledge to share as well. They are not less qualified or they are not less skilled than us. They just have less experience, but hey, we all have to start somehow. And we did uh, back in the day, back when we started. So we certainly didn't want another colleague uh, telling us something like this. So therefore, I think we should not do it now that we are in a position of having more experience. Um, I was really appalled by the comment, um, and undermining our colleagues based on their experience, I think is wrong, especially when actually that colleague was saying something that is valuable and something that is actually true. Um, and and by having a more experienced translator saying that, it perpetuates the idea that just because we're starting, we should we should just go and charge the lowest rates possible and basically live for free because we're just starting out. And they also add this idea that we work for agencies, we don't set our pricing and other comments like that, which is obviously also not true. I've worked with a few agencies and I set my pricing, and obviously, if the price is too low for what you think is reasonable, you may refuse the job. So it's never like that. It's never an imposition. We have the right of choosing who we want to work with. Of course, we need to work, but um, as every other worker, we have the right to to choose what's right for us. So then it's showing that sense of superiority, which I think it's utterly wrong. Um, Being arrogant to another colleague or showing um, that they are somehow superior. Well, we are not. We are all in this boat together. We are all in the same industry. And if we actually use, for example, our experience to help these colleagues that are now starting out, by giving them positive encouragement, by telling them, look, I made such and such mistake, maybe you could avoid it by doing this or that. We help them avoid those mistakes, we help them reach their potential faster, and obviously we help ramp up the standards in our industry. So I think that's our legacy, that's what we should do. um, and then I think most of these things sometimes is um, putting their own frustrations on the younger colleagues, maybe because they don't have the courage to charge more, maybe because they don't have the courage to stand up for what they believe it's right. And when they see a younger colleague actually doing that, they just vent their frustrations on that colleague, which is obviously wrong. It's morally wrong, it's ethically wrong. Uh, so I think I needed to say this because I wanted to my younger colleagues to know that they should never, never let themselves be put down by comments like this, because they are valuable to our industry. They have a lot of knowledge, they have fresh knowledge, they are just starting. They have a lot to bring. They are the new generation of our industry, and they should be valued and helped when they need. And they should be encouraged, positive encouragement for them to express themselves, to let other people know what they think, to share ideas with them, because that's how we grow. It's by sharing ideas. Just because we are experienced, just because we may be in the industry for 10 years, does not mean that we know it all, and does not certainly mean that we are owners of the truth. Our younger colleagues may have a lot of knowledge that it's very good to share, and we can share our experience, they can share that knowledge, and we all share our ideas, and that's how we all grow. I think that's a positive thing to take on all of this. You may be um, you may be starting out, your experience obviously it's less, but hey, when I started I didn't have any experience either, and that doesn't mean I was not a good translator, and that doesn't mean I'm not a good translator now. So we need to look at this as we are all in this together. And my message to my colleagues that are starting out is that you are valuable, you are great. Stick to your principles, be ethical, be truthful to yourself, be honest, and you will see your clients will come. And if you have any questions, if you have any things, reach out either to your association or to fellow colleagues, because most of us are there to help you. Most of us are. And that's all for today. I hope you really liked this meeting of today. I hope that if you are actually a translator that is starting out now, you felt encouraged and you felt that you are actually valuable to our industry and you have a lot to bring to the table. And you should never, but I mean never, put yourself down with comments or otherwise, because we are all valuable and we all have something good to add to the industry. Definitely comments like that and bringing other colleagues down, it's definitely not anything good. And that person obviously it's not in the right place in my view. So but if you have any question, if you are starting out or otherwise, and if you have any question, if you want to share any experience, if you want to share any ideas, please feel free to leave your comments, because I'm very 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 happy to answer all your queries and share my views, my ideas, my experience or otherwise with you. You know, put a like in the video, the algorithm, the whole story, the YouTube story. And subscribe the channel with a little click on the bell so you get a notification of a meeting every week. Before I go, I would like to thank you all for watching. See you next week. Thank you. Bye.